Want to keep your guests, clients, customers, and employees safe from viruses, including COVID-19? How, you ask? Hi, my name is Roberta Perry, and I'm president of Roberta Perry and Associates, also co-founder of Invitation to Tomorrow Today Showcase, where we bring to our audiences answers to today's problems. Starting in April of 2020, as my industry was crashing around us, I went in search of a product that could handle COVID-19, that'd make it safe again for us to go back into buildings, back into our location-based entertainment, back into our visitor centers. And frankly, could not find a product that didn't use chemicals, that didn't require hazmat suits. I just couldn't find a product. In January of this year, a friend of mine who's in the same business, she's in location-based entertainment, found a product that sanitized not only the air, but the surfaces around it, that did not have any chemicals in it, that was easy to use and was cost-friendly. And as soon as she introduced me to PLEXUS Health Science UVC 650, I went, that's it. That's the product for my customers, my contacts, my clients, my employees. We're bringing you PLEXUS Health Science UVC 650. Sit back and enjoy the next presentation of 15 minutes by CEO Dario Cristini of PLEXUS Health Science as he answers that question: how do we sanitize the air and the surfaces and do it easily and cost effectively? Enjoy. And by the way, if you'd like additional information, feel free to reach out to Roberta Perry at robertaperry.com, and I'll send you that information. Now, sit back and enjoy Dario's presentation.
At this point, I need to turn this over to the maestro herself, mistress of the dark, Roberta Perry, possibly the most accomplished business development person that I know, and her firm is Roberta Perry and Associates. So, Roberta, take it away.
Take it away.
Wow. Thank you, Norma Lynn, for that incredible introduction. I don't know if I could have written it any better, but thank you. And all of those of you who don't know Norma Lynn Cutler with Cutler Enterprises and is an innovative branding agency. And as you can tell from the way she presents herself, she truly knows how to brand each of us individually and as our company. So thank you, Norma Lynn. Again, as a reminder, if you do not want to be on camera as we started recording this a couple of minutes ago, please turn off your video and you will not be recorded, or at least we won't get to see your gorgeous pictures. Now, our Zoom format today is we're going to start with the presentation by our guest speakers. Then we're going to move to questions and answers. If you have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to put them into the chat, and then I will blend your questions with the questions we've arrived at as we get into the Q&A session. I cannot tell you, I guess I'm so excited. I'm trying to calm myself down because I am so excited about this showcase today. And the reason for that is back in April when things started shutting down, I said, that's it. We got to find a product. We've got to find a service that allows me to go back and allows all of us to go back to our favorite restaurants, to our favorite theaters, back to the hotels, back to being able to travel. Well, every time I would find a product, or any of the Invitation to Tomorrow Today ladies would find a product, we would take it to our advisor, Susie, and she would do a deep dive into the research and go, nope, nope, nope. And I brought her, I think I've brought her 3 UVCs. Nope, nope, nope. But finally, about 6 weeks ago, I introduced her to Cheryl Bendeglass, who's the COO of PLEXUS Health Science with the UVC 650. Oh my gosh, Susie went, yes, not only that, yes, this is the product. So we brought the product, thank you, Cheryl, thank you, Dario, into Panasonic Hollywood Labs last week. We tested it last Monday, and we tested it again today. I cannot tell you how excited I am to tell you that it worked. It was so successful that the entire office space now is 99.9% free of all pathogens. And we were able to test it with these wonderful dosimeters. In the beginning, it was yellow. In the end, after the test was over, after 5 minutes in the space, we are in a safe, clean environment. So that's why I'm excited about today. Totally excited. And I hope you will be excited as we are by the end of the presentation. And it is my pleasure to have with us, or it's our pleasure to have with us today, the CEO of PLEXUS Health Science, Dario Gristina, and the COO, Cheryl Bendelglass. I'm going to start this out by asking Dario a quick question. Tell us a brief history of your company. Just kind of let us know how you got from there to here and all the excitement we want you to share with our people. Take it away.
Well, thank you, Roberta. Thank you. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Well, listen, first of all, thank you for that introduction. I think it was wonderful. In fact, I think if I left now, it would be a perfect time. That was very nicely.
I'm so excited.
I also wanted to thank the ITTT team and yourself for putting this together. And also thank everybody that introduced themselves. Very interesting group, very diverse backgrounds, etc. So my name is Dario Gristina. I'm the chairman and CEO of a company called CPL Group. The company was started back in 1986 when my father was afforded an opportunity to create a consulting engineering firm in New York City, advising large commercial real estate owners with their power needs. At the time, I was working for a computer company out of Canada, and when he was given the opportunity to start the company, I immediately said, "Dad, I'm quitting. I'm going to come with you." And that started 35 years or whatever it's been, 85. It's almost 36. Worth of a lot of fun, innovation, and services provided in a lot of different ways. We have, of course, grown beyond the initial company and launched a number of different businesses that are synergistically aligned to our core business, which is really relating to energy distribution, energy management, and energy solutions within large complexes, whether they are commercial buildings, industrial, what have you. So one of the things that we got involved with about 5 years ago was PoE lighting control systems. I don't know if most people are not familiar with that term, but it's power over Ethernet lighting systems, lighting control systems. In essence, it's seeing that everything is LED. An LED is a native DC device. Technology has brought forth ways to power and control a LED light or multiple with a Ethernet connection, with a PoE equipped Ethernet switch. So it really eliminates line voltage and provides a cadre of features that are wonderful, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. So am I to keep going, Roberta, or should I?
Thank you very much for just an introduction to your company. And now let's go ahead and start the presentation. Then take it away. It's all yours.
Sure. So continuing on that, okay, so I guess Cheryl is sharing her screen now. I'm not sure if everybody can see it, but I'm assuming that it's working. Back in when the lockdown first begun, one of our engineers on the PoE, on the power over Ethernet control side of the company, brought our attention to UVC light. I have to admit that I'm an engineer and an electrical engineer, electronics engineer by trade. But I had never really given UV light another thought other than be sure to put enough UV protective screen when I went to the beach. But our engineer really turned our attention to UV light as a very strong candidate for us to be able to do something to help the situation that all of us found ourselves in. So in pretty quick order, we went from studying and learning about the technology and then designing and then prototyping. And we eventually, after a few missed trials and errors and all that, we came up with a unit that you see here in the background, or actually you see on the screen to the right of it. So it's been a very interesting journey because we really wanted to create, I mean, we did file for a few patents in the field of UV light for interior spaces for permanent installations, but we felt that we really needed to have something that could be immediately deployed, something that would be safe, effective, and affordable. Those were the criteria under which we designed our unit. So whether I mean, some of the images you see here are homes, offices, stores, etc. But in essence, any indoor space that needs to be occupied should really be handled with a next level of care. And what would be better than the same standard that is used in operating rooms throughout the world today and has been for the past 50 plus years or so. So we really thought this through in the sense that we didn't want to come up with something that had chemicals. We didn't want to have something that left residual, stuff, whatever it may be. And there's companies out there that claim that their sprays are non-harmful to humans and all that, but it's always best to stay away from chemicals, at least in my opinion. So with our UVC solution, there is no chemicals. We recommend air circulation throughout the application of the unit, because don't forget that it's not only sterilizing surfaces, but anything in the air on a 360-degree level around it. And it's easy enough to use when you have it. We have clients that have incorporated it as part of their standard cleaning, and it's simple, easy, and very, very effective. One of the things that Roberta said is 99.9%. It's actually much higher than that, depending on the exposure time. So, look, it's like when you stay in the sun, when you go to the beach, they tell you, okay, you can take the sun for 20 minutes, but any prolonged exposure is going to be harmful. Well, the same thing is for pathogens. So when they expose to UVC light, it's a matter of time and distance, right? So the unit is so powerful that within a 5-7 minute range, it'll clear out 1,000 square feet with 99.9999 four nines after that. And we know this because we had it tested, and the test results really were very, very exciting. So in reality, it's easy to use, doesn't need to have suits or masks or any of that, which, as you can see from this image, I mean, the fellow to the right that's spraying doesn't inspire a whole lot of confidence in me, because if he needs to wear all of that, how is that safe for me after I get in the room, right? So, and to the left, we have, our unit. You just wheel it in, plug it in, program the time that you need to expose the area. And we have very nice charts on our user manual based on the room size and the suggested time of exposure. And you fire it and you let it go. Any questions so far, Roberta?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so Carol, let's go to the next slide.
I seem to have locked up. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get to advance to the next one.
Okay, so well, one of the things that Roberta said, I believe it's in the next slide, is the dosimeter. So those are important little cards that allow our clients to be able to demonstrate to their guests, their employees, whoever occupies the space, that the space has been effectively decontaminated from any pathogens. I think that is a unique feature of any UVC system. Now, we don't manufacture those cards. It's actually a Swedish company that has a worldwide patent on it. We buy in bulk, and other companies that are competitors of ours use pretty much the same technology. But we believe it's crucial to be able to demonstrate to a occupant that you, as a business owner or as a boss or what have you, has taken the extra step and has gone the extra length to make sure that the environment is clean and sterile prior to occupying the space. And I'm sure Cheryl will get to that slide pretty soon.
I think she did. No, I'm not going.
All right, here we go.
We're getting back. Sorry.
Gotta love technology. It's so good, but sometimes the little glitches really
It's so much fun.
make you laugh. Our unit is really one of the most effective and most inexpensive, I guess, pound per pound, or we call it watt per watt, because at the end of the day, it's all about the amount of watt that is being irradiated. It's one of the best working units. It's one of the least expensive units. And to be quite frank, I've been told by clients that it's sexy, it looks nice. It presents itself very well. And as Cheryl pointed out, I got to read that caption, that UV light is really one of the most pronounced method for killing germs. Okay, whether it's a bacteria or a virus, the UVC light does not discriminate. It'll sorry about that, it's my phone. It will kill or, in essence, disrupt the DNA of all these pathogens and render them very quickly and very effectively. So
Dario,
that's a picture of the dosimeter card
there you go.
I was expecting, but you know, you did such a great job showing it before and after that I think this is pretty much redundant. At the end of the day, one of the things we also wanted to make sure we built into our unit was a level of safety. So everybody understands that looking at the UV light, especially from a powerful unit such as ours, directly is harmful. It can create problems with eye irritation, etc. And exposure to it for any prolonged period of time can be very harmful to your skin. So we provide sunglasses that are specially designed to block out the UVC light should you have to look at it for a short period of time. And what we also have is sensors on top of the unit that will shut the unit off in case someone just happens to wander in the room. I don't know, someone that doesn't realize that the unit is on, etc. It's also made out of a very heavy-duty enclosures. It's all metal. It has heavy-duty wheels, and it's really engineered not to tip because we concentrate all the weight on the bottom. So to tip it, you have to really work at it a little bit. And I'm sorry, my phone keeps blasting. People don't know I'm a busy guy, but Cheryl, next slide.
It is jammed again and locked up. I'm so
Jammed
sorry.
again. That's all right. No worries.
It's okay.
At the end of the day, I think that the UVC light, look, it's been around for a very long time. It's been proven. It works. Our unit has been tested independently. We have nothing to do with that. It shows that it has huge and very strong capabilities to clear interior spaces. This slide here just gives you some ideas of all the different spaces that the unit can clean. And we have clients right now in large commercial buildings that are using the unit to clear conference rooms, bathrooms, elevator lobbies, etc., in an effort to provide their tenants and the occupants with another level of safety and security, which is, everybody needs that today. I mean, listen, we have the vaccine, thank God, but now they're talking about the variants and this and that. It's still a scary situation. And we hope and we pray that our units can, at the very least, help alleviate some of those fears and hopefully kill a lot of coronavirus, whether it's one flavor or another. So with that, I thank you for your time, and I'll be very happy to answer any questions you may have.
All right. Thank you so much, Dario. I appreciate it. There was one question. Let's just answer that first. In your photo, this comes from Kate. In your photo, you have a person standing behind the unit. Can the unit be turned on when people are in the room?
So the unit can be turned on. So there is a little programming touchscreen, touchpad that allows you to set a certain amount of time for you to leave the room. So it's a countdown timer. So most of the times, 20 seconds, 30 seconds is plenty of time. And then you also set the amount of time the unit is to be on. So you program the unit to turn on for 5 minutes, 30 seconds from now. And that will be, that's how we work the unit. But no, you cannot be in the same room while the unit is operating because obviously we don't want you to be exposed to undue amounts of UVC light.
Great, good. That's what I thought. I know we, over here, what we did is we rolled it in, we plugged it in, and we left for coffee. We came back 7 minutes later, and the dosimeters just said, hey, perfectly sterile room. So we were like, woohoo, life is good. And we've done that twice now. So great job. Another question for you. How long, I know it took us about 7 minutes, and I think it was about 800 square feet. Can you just walk through the times again? Because that was one of the questions.
Right. So if you look at the test results, we arranged with the lab to have 5 foot, 10 foot, and 15 foot distances. So in essence, what they did is they took Petri dishes with live viruses and they put them at 5, 10, and 15 feet. And we had different times of exposure, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 15 minutes. Okay. And then what they did is they counted how many viruses were left alive, within those Petri dishes. So obviously at 5 feet and 5 minutes, the kill ratio was 99.9% to the 6 log, which is 99 with 6 nines at the end.
Right.
And in the 5 minutes at 15 feet, it was 99.97, which is still amazing. Right. And that's within 5 minutes. So we have a chart in our user manual that gives you suggested exposure times. But typically for the standard room, 5 to 7 minutes should be more than enough to achieve a 99.999% reduction in any pathogens that are circulating in the air or on surfaces.
All right. Well, 2 questions then to follow up, Dario. How long will the room remain sterile?
Well, the room will remain sterile as long as, the next person that goes in and, makes it unsterile. Look, it's like a operating room. So the operating room is sterile because you want to make sure that when you walk in, it's clean and clear. After that, there is no residual effect, if you will. And that's why the unit is designed to be operated over and over again, very simply and very quickly. So I give the example of an attorney's conference room, right? So you go in the conference room, you have a meeting. At the end of the meeting, you turn on the unit for 5 minutes. Next meeting comes in, you know that it's been sterile. So whoever was there before, if they had any pathogens, it's been eradicated. And you go on from there. Excellent.
I know you mentioned this already, but I just want to double check. Do you have motion sensors?
Yes, so those are installed. I think I saw that Kate had a question about. Yes. I couldn't really see it quickly enough. But yes, we have motion sensors installed. So while the unit is warming up, it will not turn it off. But after the unit reaches full power, if the sensors are triggered, the unit will shut off.
Okay,
so
that's what I thought.
It'll prevent any unintended exposure, if you will.
Okay, and then someone was asking about 110. What is the voltage needed? It's just...
Yeah, it's 110 standard outlet.
Standard, that's what I thought. And then let's confirm again. Kate had another question. Can you confirm that this unit requires line of sight from the light source to the surfaces you would like to disinfect?
So yes and no. Well, yes, in the sense that obviously line of sight is preferable. However, within any environment, there is a certain amount of light that bounces back off walls, of other uh, things that may be present within the space, mirrors for one thing, and glass, etc. So given a prolonged effect, even the backside of a chair will get a sterilization because of the light bouncing off and just coming back towards the back. But yes, obviously, direct line of sight is optimal and most appropriate for. That's why positioning the unit is also an important step to take.
Okay. And then let's go to the dosimeters for a moment, because I know Oliver was asking, do you replace the dosimeter after each scan? If so, is there a digitized version of the dosimeter? For example,
No, so yes, you have to replace it. They're only good for one use, and that's just the way it's designed. Once it's been used, you got to throw it out or keep it as a record.
Yeah.
And then you need a new one in order to evaluate the next set of circumstances.
yeah, what I particularly liked about it was that at the bottom of the dosimeters, it gives the person a place to put the date, the time, and the operator, so that you could file these just in case there's any insurance or any references that you need. So
Exactly, and I think it's a tool that is good for a number of different possibilities, but that's surely one of those.
good. Now, Jan King was asking, has the effectiveness been tested in the shadowed, not direct line of sight areas?
No, it has not.
Okay. I know we were attempting to do that a little bit today, and I think we'll probably do some more of that on Monday, but just for our own testing. But great question, Jan. Let me just ask you a question about going back to the tech when you did.
I'm sorry, Roberta. I just wanted to add something to that, because
Sure.
a lot of people focus on the areas that are not exposed directly. But one of the biggest problems we have with the SCOBIT is that it lingers in the air, okay? And that is really one of the most effective ways this unit works, because when it irradiates light, whatever is in the air, whatever is suspended in the air, whatever is circulating through, whether it's a fan or your HVAC system, will have direct exposure to a very high-powered UVC light. And that's really where most of the problems are. I don't know, I forget the CDC statistics about contamination through surfaces. Really, the major contamination that they have seen is through air particles and through the viruses surviving in air droplets and all that in the air. So I just wanted to point that out, which I believe is more important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for jumping in on that. I was going to ask you about the third party or independent lab, but I know that's on the website. And I want to just encourage everyone to go to the website. You've got 3 outstanding videos up there, as well as you've got the PDF that gives a report from the independent lab. But so let's move on to a question that is on several people's mind. What is the cost of this unit? Dario.
So the cost right now is $6,999. So call it $7,000. That's our price right now, and we may change our price going forward, but that's what we're offering the unit for sale at this point.
All right, great. And then how do we order the unit?
Well, I guess being that I've been invited by the ITT folks, you better call them, right?
Absolutely, and I think Cheryl, absolutely. Cheryl, do you have a follow-up answer to that?
I was just going to say, anybody who's on this call is absolutely a friend of ITT, and you just have to reach out to one of the individuals who will have an order form ready for you, and they will send it, and we will process it. Typical orders take 7 to 10 business days inside the U.S. Outside the U.S., we've struggled a smidgen. It is not nearly as fast because it gets tied up a little bit with paperwork, but we can get units outside. We have one that went to Thailand that I think took us about almost 4 weeks.
Okay, great. Thanks, Cheryl. Back to you, Dario, with some additional tech questions that came in on chat. What kind of UVC light are you utilizing? LED, mercury tubes? What wavelength do they generate? And
So
what is
they're
the life
mercury
of the
tubes.
lamps?
They're not LED. LED currently does not have enough power, or the amount of power that we wanted in our design. So the lamps are manufactured by Philips, which is a big behemoth company. And the wavelength that they emit is 254 nanometers. To be specific, is 253.7. They call it 254, close enough. The lamps are listed to last and be useful for 12,000 hours of operation, which is an enormously long time. We tell our clients, even if it's half of that, that's 18,000 10-minute operations over the lifetime, which is a very, very long extended life.
And how much does it weigh? Dario?
Much does it weigh, the unit?
Weigh. Mhm.
It's about 80 pounds.
Okay, but it's easy to roll, and
Oh,
I don't
yes.
think we didn't have a problem.
You can
with
roll it effortlessly. There is 6 wheels on it, very large wheels, and it's easy enough to move around.
We had a question again that came in for about how long does it last, a room, once you sterilize it? Could you just repeat your answer to that?
Sure. I mean, it's sterile, just like anything else. You clean and you sterilize. And by the way, there's a point I want to make on that. There's a difference between sanitizing and sterilizing. Okay, sanitizing, anybody can do that. You could just go wipe something, and it's you could call it sanitizing. But sterilizing is a whole different level of commitment in the cleaning side of things, and this is a hospital grade unit. Hospital grade sterilization is anywhere between 2 to 5 logs of eradication of pathogens. 2 to 5 logs means a log is one of those 9s after the point, right? So 99.9 is 1 log. So you have to have at least 2 to 5 logs in order for hospital grade machines to be considered such. And our unit does have that.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if I really answered the question about the cleanliness. So after an environment is sterile, obviously, if you go in and introduce pathogens, you're back to square one. That's why multiple applications throughout, like I gave the example of a conference room of a attorney. You sterilize the room before somebody enters for a meeting, and when they leave, you sterilize it again. And being that the unit is so powerful and acts so quickly, there's very little downtime.
All right, great. Now, this question came in because many of us in your audience today got an alert this morning on a FAR UVC. I know I talked to Cheryl about that. Any comments on that? And I'll either for you or Cheryl. Cheryl, I know you and I started that conversation, and with Susie.
Yeah, I can take that question.
Absolutely, great.
So we looked into FAR UVC light as well. The difference between, so UVC light comes in a spectrum between 200 and 280 nanometers. So nanometers is the frequency and the distance between one trough and the other on the wavelength of light. UVC has been around for a long time, has been proven, and it's at 237.4 nanometers, so 254 nanometers, 253.7. FAR UVC is down in the 220 nanometer range, and there has been research, very recent research, that shows that it has a similar effect on pathogens, meaning that it kills pathogens, and supposedly it's safe to humans. But that's the part that is the reason why we are not going in that direction just yet, because look, at the end of the day, it's a matter for us to change the bulbs, okay? It's not that hard, that difficult to do that switch. But we haven't gone that route because there's not enough evidence to show that it is safe. And we would not want to put our name behind the product and saying, look, it's safe to use, and then God forbid, 3-5 years down the road, some ill effects come out of it. So the other problem is that the wattage that you can get out of a bulb at that wavelength is less, and the products that are out there are very limited. So you need a lot of product in order to achieve the same speedy results that you can achieve with a unit like ours.
All right. I love that.
I hope that answers the question.
It does for me. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No problem.
How many, David, how many of these units are in the field currently? I was going to ask you this question anyway, so thank you, David.
I mean, we started marketing just very recently. That's why we're here. And by the way, the lady that could not get her sound to work is our PR. It's our PR firm. So out of all people that couldn't get their sound to go, I don't know.
She's with Transmedia, correct?
Right, Transmedia.
Yeah, I love it.
So we're just launching. We have sold probably close to 50 units right now, and we have many more in stock. And the orders are keep on coming. So we anticipate to have a very nice quarter, especially with your help.
Yeah, all right. Well, we love that. We can't wait to help you. We're so excited about being able to roll it in, plug it in, and go have coffee.
Absolutely.
And Roberta, just one of the things I want to point out when we're talking about this industry, that we've got them in commercial buildings. Dario can tell you, from New York to San Francisco or San Diego. My favorite placement is not just a school in Thailand, but a place that's close to all of our hearts, Give Kids the World.
Oh.
We were able to give them the unit to be able to sanitize and sterilize all of the villas for all the families as they came back. So there are so many different places. A church has it, multiple restaurants have it. So it's a mixed variety.
All right. Is there, by the way, Cheryl, is there a warranty involved?
Dario, you want to tell them the amazing warranty?
Yes, it's 18 months. And we stand behind the product, parts, service, labor, all of that, provided you don't break it. If you break it, you own it, but we'll repair it.
I'm going to continue to ask another couple of questions before we go for final thoughts here and turn it back to Norma Lynn. Again, from David, if you have a 5,000 square foot space, do you put multiple units in or just move the unit around and restart it?
So it depends on how the space is configured. If it's a rectangular or square space, we extrapolated that in order to safely reach a 99.99% kill ratio for 5,000 square feet, you would have to keep the unit on for about 40 minutes. Okay. So light is the applicable formulas is the inverse square law. That's why Venus gets a lot more heat from the sun than the Earth does, right? So using those same formulas, we can, and based on the test results, we can extrapolate that data.
Good. And by the way, your operational manual certainly has all this information in it, as well as your website. So again, well done. One last question again, then to final. How long has the oldest operational unit been in service?
Ooh, probably, I would say the third prototype, which is the current unit, has been in service in our office in New York City since July.
Okay.
So that's
good.
It's about 6 months, give or take.
Great. Thank you so much. And Jan, to answer your question that you have up there, I know they're working on both of those, and we'll get you information on that as soon as we've been given the information from Cheryl and Dario. But let's go to a final thought, starting with Cheryl, who's the Chief Operating Officer. And our good.
So I want to thank everybody for
30 years.
This. Wow, I know. We go so far back. It's exciting to be able to bring it to this group. I want to go back to just a couple quick points from whether it's a themed entertainment or somebody asked the 5,000 square foot. I have facilities that are family entertainment centers or a bowling center. You can buy multiple units and cut down the time in half so that you could say.
In fact, we encourage you to do so.
Thank you. Dario encouraged me to say that. But
I can see that text already.
Yeah. Roberta liked that, and Norma Lynn did. It depends on your staffing. The thing that nobody has talked about with our comparison of all these UV versus sprays and foggers, time and labor. How much time and labor are you going to dedicate to fogging and misting and wiping down. We're not saying that you don't have to wipe down your counters. This is an add-on that will be your core sanitization product. We want to make sure that you know that it doesn't say, oh, you never have to wipe down your front doors at all. Or, oh, I never had to clean a bathroom again. You know, that this is just going to magically take care of every and anything. With that being said, it does cover floor to wall to any surface. For those of you who know about like a claw game, those claw games in the arcades, you've got plush animals behind a glass. It will go through and sterilize and sanitize those animals. So it has so many uses. You can put it in your kitchen. You can put it in your offices. I just think the opportunities are endless, and it will make your life so much easier.
Great. All right, Cheryl, thank you. Dario, back to you for the final thoughts before I return control to Norma Lynn.
Well, listen, I wanted to again thank everyone on this call. I mean, there's so many people of so many different backgrounds. I appreciate your time, and you know, you have my email address right, I think behind me. No, this other behind me. So if you have any questions or have any need any further information, excuse me, don't hesitate to call me, email me, what have you. We really need your support, and we need to communicate this message. And look, UVC light has been talked about in the news, et cetera, but I think that if we all work together as a society to promulgate the use of this technology, as well as others, I mean, this is not the only technology, but it's sure one that works and is proven, et cetera. Forget about COVID for a minute, but if you think about going to your doctor's office, it's full of pathogens. If you go to a hospital, it's full of pathogens. And, you know, if we all work towards doing a much better job in cleaning the environment, who could live without getting the next stomach bug or the next flu? It will be a wonderful thing. So the next level in cleanliness and sterilization is what we're aiming for, and we need everybody's help to make that happen. So again, I thank you. I thank the ITT folks for bringing us here, and I give it right back to you, Roberta. Thanks.
Oh, thanks, Dario. Thank you, Cheryl. Wow. Yeah, I'm still so excited about it. And thank you so much for bringing this forward, because we've got a way to make all of our favorite places safe again. And I so appreciate the research and the time and the energy and the expertise that have gone into it. Thank you to all of our audience today. Wow, I'm just happy. That's amazing. So back to our amazing co-host, Norma Lynn Cutler.
Hey, kids. Now, was that special or what? How about if you all unmute yourself for just a moment? How many of you are wowed by this presentation and this product? Hey, come on.
Very good.
Woo! Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Keep in contact with us. Now, obviously, we do this every month. We've got one coming up next month that's going to, well, how many of you have more friends on LinkedIn or more contacts on LinkedIn that you've never done business with? Probably hundreds. Well, we have somebody who's going to tell you how to mine your contacts to increase your business on LinkedIn. Corey, are you still online?
He's there somewhere.
He's
It's
here
okay.
somewhere. We love him. Anyway, Corey Pedvine is going to talk about making the most, developing business leads, etc., through LinkedIn. And that is our next month. So watch for the invitation. You'll want to do that. And we're working hopefully to get a company that actually funds startups and not Microsoft kind of startups, small startups. That's what we want to do. So we've got a lot of cool things in store for you. Again, thank you so much. And thank you to our guest presenters. And let's have a kick-ass 2021, shall we?
Yay! Woo!
All right. See you
Thank
next
you.
time.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.